And you have to fall in love with yourself, Mikali.
Oh.
You have to fall deeply, madly in love with yourself. And no, I'm not talking about you being selfish. It's about you knowing what you carry. That you know no one is giving you a favor to be in your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know that this is what you have to offer the world, and then you begin to discuss and you begin to rate who is allowed to come into your space, because you know the value of what you are and what you carry.
You need to know that.
You need to know that.
Before you point out to other people and how you think when they come into your life, they will complete you.
Yes.
That without them, I'm nothing.
Yes.
You should think without me, I'm nothing.
Yes.
I'm the most important person in my world. Because when I'm not there, my world is not there.
That's true. That's true. And that's where everything starts. And I liked the conversation that you were having with Wally. And he said you have to deal with the roots, not the fruit.
Yeah.
Actually, what you were saying, you have to deal with yourself before we deal with your results.
That is so true.
Yes.
And this is so tied in. It looks like it's a conversation that continues.
I was like,
But how do we get to this pace? Because Judy, growing up, tunaambiwa, don't blow your own trumpet.
Yes.
Oh, ngojea watu wakuambie.
Yes.
Nyenyekea Mungu akuinue. You know, like there are all kinds of things that are said to you, and we've been told, we've been encouraged to uplift others and put ourselves second, and sometimes atuko nyuma.
Hata unaenda mbali sana ukisema unambua nyenyekea. Kwanza they label you. Ni kiherehere sana. Unazungumza mambo mengi sana.
And it starts when you're a child,
yes,
Judy.
and that's where the damage is done. That's why you're compared with your sister. You're compared with your brother. You don't perform as well in school. You begin to think less of yourself. When we do our coaching, Mikali, it's amazing that actually people don't know what they carry. People don't know themselves. Something happened to us along the way.
Yeah.
And for me, it's a burden. You must know yourself. You must find your true identity. Before they even tell you, usijisifu, they finished you.
They did. And I've listened to stories of, women who were bubbly and loud as kids, and they were told to tone it down. Yes. And it went all the way down to the floor, and nobody was there to tell them, it's okay now, you can open up. No, that was shut down.
Kesi.
That was you.
That's exactly what happened to me. Nilikuwa naitwa kiherehere.
Judy uko kwa TV. Uko kwa TV saizi na kiherehere yako. You're changing lives.
Yes. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Yet, do you know what happens for the most part is that the gift that God has given you is what the world will try to shut down.
Knowingly and unknowingly.
Most times unknowingly.
Yeah.
In fact, if you're not careful, if now you don't get external help to come and call out whatever you had, it's very likely that you'll go down to the grave having never rediscovered yourself.
Oh my goodness.
I found myself, Mikali, in my 40s.
What?
Yes. I know I don't look it. It's okay.
I'm like, 40 where? Are you talking? But I think I forgot the rest of the conversation. What were you saying? At 40, what?
Yes. And I think, Mikali, for me, that's why I'm so passionate about this conversation. I'm very, very passionate about it because can you imagine how many decades I lost?
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
And if you're going by the statistics, probably half your life.
Yes, that's true.
40 years of you not knowing who Judy is and what she's capable of.
Yes. That's
and
what
the
happened.
milestones that she can cover.
Oh, that's what happened to me. You're serving in a wrong career, getting into wrong relationships, as an example, not knowing what you have, carrying yourself and thinking you're less than yourself.
It's like, no. Opportunities come your way and you think they're better off taken over by somebody else.
They don't even come your way because you can't call them to you.
So you don't even notice them.
You don't even notice them, and the doors don't just seem to open. Because the doors will not open until you get to the place of knowing yourself.
That's when you start seeing.
That's when the doors, your nature, your spiritual realm begins to connect with the things that you are meant to do.
Oh, goodness. So we live blind.
Many of us. And that's why I tell you, I'm so passionate about this thing because there are people in their 20s, in their 30s, they can be saved. There's someone in their 40s, in their 50s, and you're thinking your life is long gone. I'm here. Not. It's not gone. You can recover and gain speed and gain momentum and run like there is no tomorrow.
Judy, I'd like to know
how
you found that space and how it happened to you, for you to be the person that you are here today. What happened? How did you get to this point of even understanding that I need to change. Something needs to give.
Actually took a job loss, and that encourages someone who is here who is going through a job loss. Sometimes when you're going through a dark season of your life, a job loss, a relationship loss, whatever, if you focus on the loss, you'll miss it.
Okay.
Mikali, I was out of work, and not for 1 year, not for 2 years. But it was in that moment of stillness that I found out who Judy really is. I grew up, I started my career of receptionist, cleaner. Yes.
Judy.
That's where I started, low, at that lowest level. And so on your natural path, as you think about your career, you think about going into admin, which I did. I went into admin, I became a personal assistant, then that job went. When that job went, I went now and started my own business. That's when I discovered, oh, I can sell. That's another encouragement for someone. When whatever, it's a bend on the road. You've lost a job, it's a bend on the road. It's redirecting your path to what you should do.
Yeah.
Don't give up.
Don't.
So I lost my job I went to start my own business. That's when I discovered, oh, I can sell. Yes. But now I didn't have enough capital to keep me in the business, so I went back to the job market. Went back to admin because I understood admin. But when I went back to admin now, the sales bag had already hit. So I went back now, changed my career into sales and marketing.
Okay.
But that meant that I was going to start at the rock bottom, which I did. So I went, now changed my career into sales and marketing. By the time I was leaving the corporate world, I was a sales and marketing manager. Starting from rock bottom. That's to encourage anyone. I hear your listeners from diverse places.
That's true.
Don't give up. You can be anything.
Yeah.
So how I rediscovered Judy is I lost my job, like I said. And so when I lost my job, in this season of losing my job, someone called me and told me, Judy, listen to this someone and transcribe for me. It was a free thing. It was like that person just called out my gift. I transcribed. So when I transcribed, he called me later. He's like, you're very intelligent. Why don't you just put quotes on social media? I wrote an article. I didn't write a quote. But I wrote an article based on the dark season because I was tired of people on social media just putting beautiful posts of you being on holiday and everything. But there are people are going through stuff and no one is talking about this dark season because it was very lonely for me. So when I wrote an article about the dark seasons of life, that's what the response was overwhelming. People could relate with it. I started writing an article every Monday to talk about inspiring people, encouraging people, motivating people, drawing from my life experiences and drawing from the Word of God. But what this person didn't even know, at 18, I wrote an article that was published in the Standard newspapers. Can you imagine the gift that had died, that had been rediscovered in the place that I had thought was had come to an end? As a young girl, I always wanted to be an anchor.
Yes.
I remember going to KTN, those days when KTN was at Nyayo House, going and I was told I looked too young on the screen. At that time, I was 17. My dreams at that point died.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, in 2019, I remember I was just given an opportunity to do a welcome in church. And people were like, you mean, Judy, you've been sitting on that gift? That is how the speaker in me was birthed.
Oh, my goodness.
And now because I was out of work, it was easy for me the light bulbs now went on. So I started doing free trainings like this. It is the season of COVID, this one, that everyone has complained about, that made me start in online courses, that made me begin to think, what happened to me? What could have happened to me if, for example, I rediscovered myself? I discovered who I was at my 20s. Ningekuwa nacheza ligi moja na anaitwa nani? Huyu wa states. This public speaker, you know her, Lisa Nichols.
Yes.
Are you seeing?
Yeah.
But I'm here struggling.
No, you're not.
In Kenya.
We love you. We are here for you. We appreciate your hours. But we wish you all the best as well. It's not too late, like you said.
It's not,
but I understand what you mean.
Yes. But I felt like if I knew earlier, where would I have been, as an example? But two, that's to encourage someone who is young and is feeling like you have all the time. No. If you discover earlier, you can run your race much faster.
Yes.
But that's also to encourage someone else who is feeling, no, I've come to my end. I'm in my 40s, I'm in my 50s, and I can't do it. Judy Mzungu is right here. We can do this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, Judy, thank you so much for sharing that. And it may be an encouragement to all the people who are watching and feeling like this has been a very dark season for you. Because the dark season for you, as people were blossoming and sharing all of that,
Yes.
you chose to share your darkness,
Yes.
or the place that you felt was dark.
Yes.
And that was where your light was.
That's where my light was, and that's how I began to speak. That's how I began to encourage people, and then now I could retrace I now began to look back. That's how now I had a passion and a burden. So today, when I come to speak about the realignment program with Kali, it is not theory.
No, it's not.
It's not theory.
It's not.
Yeah, and that's why I'm passionate about it. I'll do anything because I know the price of losing yourself is too high.
Some people go through a lot of maybe trauma,
Yes.
or they're shut down when they're kids.
Yes.
And they go on with their lives knowing very well that they have it in them to be bigger or to do more than they're doing now. And they end up walking a path of being angry at themselves because they don't have the courage to step out and be those things that they know they can be. How do you get out of that space? How do you forgive yourself and just step out?
I think what usually happens when you have gone through a traumatic experience or you have been boxed in your life, you've
Yeah.
stopped believing in yourself.
Yes.
But deep down, there's something in you that tells you, I am so much more.
Yeah.
Because I remember I had that. I knew deep inside of me, I am so much more. I knew it, but I just didn't know how to actualize it.
Yeah.
Now, in those days when I was there, of course, there was no coaching, so we didn't know. And that's why now we are here to come back. It's like we're just coming back to tell you, what, you are so much more, and to help you. We actually do take a journey with you back, Mwikali, because that's where the secret is. It's in going back to your childhood, going back to your teenagehood, going back to your work experiences, to find out what makes you thrive, what makes you not work, well, so that now we align you to what would be your ideal place of purpose. It makes a difference when you look consciously.
I understand.
You begin to direct your path, and you know what, when you begin, it's not even you directing your path. When you're in your place of purpose, doors open.
Yes.
How is it that I'm just able to connect with you, Mikali? I mean, we've been here, we've almost become like friends, and we can share our testimonies on TV.
Yes.
Are you seeing? It's because of relationship. How is it coming? It's because I am in my place of purpose. So it becomes easy for me to function in this place.
Okay. Wow.
And so it's our business to go and help people to find their place of function. And let me tell you, because I am what is it called, strong-willed. So even as a secretary, I thrived. As
a cleaner.
As a cleaner, I thrived.
Yeah.
As a sales and marketing manager, I thrived. You know. So let not your current performance cheat you. You have to go back and find out everything, including, and most of those things that were suppressed, including kiherehere, Yes, bring it out, because that's what the world needs.
That is so true.
And you have to fall in love with that version of yourself, so that when they try to describe you like that now, you are introduced. You have to have the courage to come back and introduce yourself to yourself, and then introduce yourself to the world.
That's true. I was always like on the noisemakers list, Judy. Like always.
I see you on me making noise today.
Times 10, because they couldn't write my name enough times. It's like Miriam Wikali Mutua times 10. Mwalimu anapatiwa list like times 10.
Yes.
Kila mtu anasamehewa, and then you wa times 10 unabeba mzigo yao yote. Wewe ndio unapanishiwa. But when I look back, I'm like, they didn't know.
They didn't know.
In
fact, maybe yes. Now, what they could have done for you in this particular dispensation is to help you now to know how can you use your public speaking gifts. Because I was a public speaker as a child. Imagine all that was going to go to the gutter. Can you imagine?
We wouldn't have our Judy today.
By the way, do you know, ni hasira, Mikali, you have to go back and look for other people.
That is so true. That is so true. We have a couple of questions here. I just want to get into them. Hi, Mwikali. I'm really happy for Switch TV. I don't know myself or what I want in life. Please help. I'm only 15, but the younger, the better.
Yes, it's true.